Well, Anansi think, man, this is a great thing. So he goes to the sky god and says, sky god, if I can get rid of this snake, can we have all stories named after me? And the sky god says, yes. So Anansi called the villagers. He says, this is what I need. I need me some wine. I need me some mangoes. I need me some sweet eggs. And I need you to cut me some rope and lay it by that long tree over there. And they do everything Anansi wants. And while they're going, Anansi goes over to the hole where the snake be hiding where him sleep. And he stands on one side and he goes, I hear that brother snake is the largest and the biggest snake in all the world. And then him sneak over to the other side. Says, nah, man, I don't think he's that big at all. He's just an average sized snake. No, man, I'm telling you, this snake is huge. He's bigger than that log over there, man. Him huge. I'm telling you, man, the snake is average. We could probably take him and kill him ourselves, man. He's not that big. You better leave here, man. I'm telling you, this snake is wonderful. He is huge. And after he gets done, he reaches over and he grabs the sweet eggs and he rolls it in front of the hole. And the snake goes, home. And he eats it. And then he gets some 2 big long loaves of bread that look like arms and he throws it in front. And the snake no not see well, but he hear the vibrations at home. And then he goes and throws mangoes, home, home. And then him grab a big skin of wine and throw in front, home. By that time, the snake is not only full, but he's feeling well too, man. So he starts talking to the snake. He says, snake, can you come here for a minute, man? And the snake comes out of the hole. He says, man, he says, I hear that you are the longest snake in all the world. And the snake says, yes, I think I'm very long. It says, but these guys don't believe you, man. I say that you prove it, man. I say you're longer than that log over there, man. And the snake looked out and said, yes, yes, I think I'm longer as well. Let's go see. Line yourself up over there. And the snake goes and he wiggles himself out. And he wiggles himself out. And he's longer, and he's longer, and he's longer. And he gets over to that log, and he's about that much too short. Anansi said, man, I think that you can make it, man, but you're just a little short. Why don't you stretch, man? And so the snake stretches some. He says, man, but that's too hard. Why don't you let me tie you at the bottom so you can hold on a little bit? And the snake says, tie me, man. So he ties the snake on the pole. And the snake goes a little long, and he's only about just a couple inches too short. And Anansi turns to him and says, it's your back, man. Let me tie your middle. And the snake says, go, man, tie me middle. Anansi looks up, and there on the other side was a mosquito, a fly, and a moth. And they're looking at him, and he looks over at them and says, why are you attacking me? Because we're going to eat you, they said. You're going to eat me? Yes, we're going to eat you. We're hungry. And I says, well, you're not doing a very good job of it. In fact, maybe I should eat you. There are 3 of us, and there's only 1 of you, and then you haven't been doing a good job catching us either. Then Anansi thinks, well, why don't we have a contest? And whoever wins the contest gets to eat the other. Well, they thought, that seems fair. What kind of contest will we have? And Anansi says, why don't we have a liar's contest? A liar's contest? Yeah. Whoever tells the best story. You know the kind of lie when you get done, you got to go, you lying. Whoever tells the best one. If you make the other person say, you're lying, then you win and you get to eat the other person. Oh yeah, now. Fact of the matter is, the mosquito, the fly, and the moth were known to be some great liars. So they thought, we can win this one. So they started. First up was Brother Mosquito. Brother Mosquito came up and says, okay, you ready? He says, here's my story. Before I was even born, my father had 40 acres. And he took that 40 acres and he cleared it, and he was working it one day, and he was chopping with a Kaiser blade, a sling blade. You know what that is? And he says he was chopping and chopping, and he cut his foot. And he cut his foot so bad that my daddy couldn't work. So before I was even born, I had to go out there and finish clearing that land. And before my daddy was even born, I had to get out there and plow that land. And in fact, before my daddy was even born, I had to plant corn. And when the corn got ready, I had to harvest all the corn and put it in a big silo. But you know what? By the time I was born, my daddy was a very rich man. And then that was because all the work I did before I was born. And that is my story. And they looked over at Anansi, waiting for him to say, you lying. But Anansi looked and says, That was a very good story. And oh so true. Oh so true. Next up was Brother Fly. Brother Fly says, well, you know, I was chomping on an elephant that I had just killed, when all of a sudden I heard Brother Tiger pouncing his way through the grass. Now, Brother Tiger didn't see me, so I thought I'd have some fun with that old tiger. And when he gets done, the man is so impressed that he reaches and gives him 2 big scoops of butter and hands it to old Jack. Now, old Jack takes that 2 scoops of butter and he remembers what his mama said. Whatever you get, I want you to put it in your pockets here and bring it home. So Jack thought to himself, I know what to do. And he put them in both pockets. And he starts walking home. Well, it was a hot day. It was a hot summer day. It's kind of the hot days that you have down here in Mississippi, hot days. And so as he was walking along, that butter started to melt. And as it started to melt, it started to ooze down his legs, right around his kneecap and down his calves until it got to the bottom of his shoes. By the time old Jack got home, all you could hear was slosh, 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 slosh. And Jack's mama comes out. Jack, come here, boy. Jack came to his mama. Hi, mama. Boy, you go to work today? Uh-huh. You get paid? Uh-huh. Well, where's it at? And his mama gave him another big old slop right across the face. Boy, use your head. Use your head. This time tomorrow when you go to work, if they give you something soft, I want you to take it and I want you to put it in a cool bucket of water and carry it home here. Uh-huh. So the very next day, old Jack gets up and he goes to work. And this time he finds work with a rat catcher. And he works hard. I mean, he goes and he goes. He's chasing rats. He's setting traps. He's doing everything. He goes into barns and he's getting rats out of the roof and just working and working. The man worked so hard that the farmer looked at him and says, you know what? I'm going to pay you. And he reaches down and he gives him a big old tomcat as work for pay. And he looked at that tomcat. And he held him and he purred. And he was soft. And he remembered what his mama said. His mama said if it was soft, to put it in a bucket of water and carry it home on his head. So he got a bucket of water and took that cat and he tried as best he could to put that cat in that water and carry it home. While he's going, that cat is just scratching and scratching and he's walking. He gets about halfway home and an old pack of wild dogs come by. And they see that cat and that cat sees them dogs and he scratched until he got away from old Jack and went flying up the hill with those dogs chasing him. And that is my story.